Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is George Lesher. I am president, as you all should know by now. But so today we're going to be talking about some of the updates, which pretty much is just revolving around mainly the IRS mayhem, is what I'm calling it, with uploading and creating your files. So we're going to cover that one more time. The reason we went to the 15th was all of the IRS stuff was shut down from the, was shut down for the beginning of the month. So they opened up on the 10th and 11th to allow us to once again get to their websites. So I want to make sure everybody's got that squared away. This is the reason why we switched the dates. All right, our next webinar will be on the 5th, even though it's only a few weeks almost like it feels like a week and a half away. Again, we'll be talking about some updates that we're going to be doing between now and the 5th. Shouldn't be too many things that are happening, but it'll just be quick cleanups of anything that's also comes around from the IRS stuff. It's kind of our focus of this month is just getting that all squared away. Well, I'd like to say Happy New Year to everybody because, it's a new year. We're now in 2024 and we are pretty much excited about this whole next year upcoming. So there's a lot of neat and cool stuff we're going to be doing. But I just wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody, to wish you all a good, hopefully you have a good, you had a good holiday. And, now it's like as the grandpas always say, get back to work. So we're all back to work at this point. Today is Martin Luther King Day, so if you guys have the day off and you're watching from home, I congratulate you on your dedication. We are recording this, so it will be out on the web and probably hopefully by either the end of today or tomorrow. But I just wanted to not acknowledge the fact that we are on a holiday. Unfortunately, it's just the way the time frames worked out with the IRS. Now we also has to say a little bit about our favorite team. We finally won a national championship for the last I was just a youngling when we last won. So it's been a while for U of M winning the national championship, but our boys and the Wolverines there pulled it off this year, and we are now pleased because this whole year we can walk around and say we're national champions. But again, that's just something I want to acknowledge their hard work on. So let's get on to we'll stay on the national champ screen. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Pro Fund Accounting. All right, so as far as the updates go, again, most of our stuff was, if you look here, our last update, again, we did move the ACA tax reporting to the human resources area away from the payroll area. So that's kind of something, if you're not ready for, just it'll be there. You'll find it. Again, these are just most of this was just little stuff that has come through for the ACA changes and things like that people have found, because our test data just didn't have a particular aspect of it. One of the printing reports for the 1099 MIS and NEC didn't match, so we've updated that. We updated the ACA report window. Again, if you look through here, most of the stuff is wrapped around the ACA stuff, and we did get your M.Dot Schedule C rates out. Just year-end things that have happened. The final thing I want to talk about was a bunch of reports have come through, and we've got another batch coming in. Hopefully by the end of the month here, we'll have another batch of reports that have been updated. Let's see, is there anything else in here I want to just update? I'm not going to go through any of the things. 1099. Nope, pretty much that's all. So we're going to start with the 1099s, and I'm going to do a brief get-go of the 1099 position. There is, when you go to the payables, if you right click, there is an actual video out there now in the 1099s you can get to that we just produced. So you can see that. But we're gonna go into the 1099s and it's pretty quick. You select the year, 2023, NEC, load the year. You know, these people do have it, but this is all fake data, so their names may be there, but I don't think anything else is. So we just go ahead and you'll print them, email them, or create the e-file. So I'm going to now basically turn it over to Paul because he's just going to quickly go through and create a Z file with you. He'll create the e-file with you, and then he's going to walk you through the IRS login button that we have here for you to be able to click on and then go right into the IRS.
So once you have your vendors loaded, you select what vendors you want, and then you click on the create e-file. Yeah, let me move this in here. It'll pop up with a window that you could select the folder. And I'm going to choose my desktop. And it created it. And if I look on it just created a flat CSV file on my desktop. So once you have your 1099 e-file created, you just click on this button and it'll take you to the IRS webpage. A screen that'll have you select which portal you want to use. And I'm going to go down to here and select the one that says IRS TCC. I click on select and it takes you right to the home page. This is what it will look like. And what we're interested in for today is the upload CSV with form data. Now you click on that and you come down to where it says browse or drop CSV files. And I select the MISC file I just created. And if there are errors in the formatting, it'll show them right here. I don't have any. But then when you click start, it'll go to a page where you can review all the information on the 1099. And then you just click add all. And it'll say like your file's been successfully uploaded. It'll tell you how many forms it created. And you'll have to visit the unsubmitted page forms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the dashboard. To actually submit, your files have been successfully uploaded but not submitted. To actually submit them, you click on this, and then you can check each one, and then you click on the submit button. Once you do that, that will submit them to the federal government. After that, there's no turning back. That's your final submit. So, and then obviously under status, they have you're ready to submit. You could also, if you don't like a row, you could hit delete if you want to delete them. If you want to actually download the form from here instead of ProFund, you can click download and it'll generate the IRS forms. So then once you've hit the submit on them, you can view your submitted forms by doing these different I don't have any submitted obviously, but you can enter in the date range and then you can find out if it was rejected, accepted, still pending. And then there's also a correct replace where if there was a rejected, you could replace them. Another quick thing I want to point out is you can also enter in 1099s by hand if you have like a different one, a 1099K or something like that. You could just click on it, and once you hit next, it'll basically walk you through the steps on how to hand fill out a 1099 if you only have like one or two. So that's about it as far. What about pending with errors? You'll have to if there are errors with pending, then you'll have to read the error and find out what it is. Also, this does include the 1096 automatically, so you do not have to upload a 1096. The same goes for the NEC. There's no there's no 1096. Also, since I have it, I'll also upload a 109 NEC.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so now go ahead and upload
Just
your.
yep. Just so you're aware, you can only upload one file at a time now. Yeah, there'll be some errors. But see, and this is what the errors look like. So you'll see you may have some uploading. These are formatting errors. So and you can't continue until those are corrected. So if you get uploading errors, please read them and try to correct them. So I won't upload a 1099 NEC, but just so you're aware, when you're actually submitting the forms, you could just do one submit. And then as far as pending with errors, you'll have to read the error message and see what it says to do about it. I haven't encountered a submitted form yet, so if you get an error and you're not sure about it, please give us a call and we'll try to help you through that. Also, what date do these have to be uploaded by? I believe the IRS provides a date.
January 31st, maybe?
I thought that was when you had to get them out to your customers.
January 20th, maybe?
I'm not 100%
It's
sure.
coming up soon.
I
know
thought
that
it was
much.
the end of February.
No, it's not that late.
Okay, for the 1099s.
Nope, it's not that late. It's either the end of January or the 20th. I can't remember which. But we got to get we got to get through these. And if you don't have a TCC number, there's some things we can do to, expedite some pieces. But the main thing is, these things need to be uploaded relatively soon to the IRS. But basically, if you want, we could probably go to the IRS website and find that out, but let's not do it in a webinar.
Okay.
We'll get back with you on that date if you want, or, contact the IRS. It's not that hard to find.
Yep. So that is what you have to do to submit your 1099. Again, the process isn't that hard. Just make sure that when you go through it, that if there's any errors, usually they're pretty correctable. So did you want to go through the ACA as well?
Well, I'm not there yet, but
Okay.
click on the help button. Maybe that one question can be answered in the webinar. What the heck? Go down and say, when do they have to be? Is there in there?
Due dates.
There you go, due dates. So due dates say
filing for 1099 series is March 31st.
Well, there you go.
NEC is January 31st.
Yeah, January. I thought the NEC was January 31st.
Yep, but the MASC is 31st. So
don't ask me why, guys, but they're crazy. But it's so fine. But just get them in by January 31st. Most people should be able to do that.
Yep. Okay. Is there anything else I need to cover? I don't think there's anything else I need to cover on that.
No, but you could probably do the screenshots for the 1099 while I do the talking. So ACA tax reporting. Again, this is all these people here. Basically, the idea here is you generate the forms for the e-file. We've already had plenty of webinars on how to work this screen and everything else. So Paul, just go ahead and go in there and say printer generate an e-file. And yeah, everybody's good. So we pick the year, we load our employees, select all the employees. I don't know if all of them are good. We'll go ahead. And then
I don't know if they're all good or not.
Yeah, just pick two and some, and then we want the generate e-file as one of the.
Yep.
And you put in your TCC number.
You want to select this time, you want to select ACA. And you want to go to upload ACA forms. Now, when you generate the form from ProFund, you will get two different files. your manifest, and your form file. And I want to upload my manifest. It'll look just like this. It'll have the manifest, what type of form, and that always goes there. You want to upload the form file, and then you click on transmit.
Yep. Now, this is going to fail because again, we don't have the ability to do productions. We're generating a production file.
And
So-
yes, and you want to make sure you enter in your correct TCC number in that box that we
Yeah.
provide in ProFund.
So we can't really go much further past this, except to say that when it does go through, you do get a official number or a screen that has actually a print button on it. If you watch the video that goes with this that we just updated, you'll see that screen where we pushed through a test file. So we got past this part. And then
Yep.
you basically get a code number, and then go ahead and say cancel, Paul. Then if you click on the check transmission status, now you can take it from here.
Okay, when you click on the check transition status, you want to select your TCC and receipt ID, enter in your TCC, and then you enter in that receipt ID that you got from the transmission page, and then you click on find, and it will tell you if your transmission was successful or if it wasn't successful. And if it wasn't, it'll give you a text file to download to figure out why. Now, most likely, if it wasn't successful, the text file will be a little hard to understand. So if you're having trouble reading that, please give us a call and we'll cipher through that to figure out why it wasn't successfully uploaded. Or it wasn't accepted, rather.
All right, so we're going to move on to our sneak peeks. And today the sneak peek is going to be, no, yep, there it is, financial statements. Okay. So we're going to be releasing in the next couple of days the financials. And basically this is just a budgeting program where should allow you to budget based on the 3 and 4th level of the chart of accounts. So I'm going to bring in here the 2022 budget, so you can kind of see this is the last two. We figure there's a 2010 in front of all of these account numbers, but to kind of make things a little bit smaller, you know, we've done a variety of things. So you can come in here and you can put in budget amounts for each of these 4 position numbers on the expense. These are all going to be expense and revenue accounts. So the revenue is at the top and the expense is at the bottom. So I've got just some plain numbers in here for things. So you can kind of see, you know, you can set up a budget. The budget has a lot of features to it. So when you come into here, you can apply some trends. Like here we have, you know, all the different months, but the last 2 months is just changed around. You can make a trend for a group of them by selecting the whole group, you know, and then modifying the trend, or you can make a trend for just one. So like here, if I wanted to change this one, I can make this back to 0. And then it will automatically adjust it. So as soon as I say apply trend, it has to, the trends itself all have to equal 100% when it's all said and done. So we let you go out to the 4th position for percentages. So this is 8.33% of that 172, 1.72 million. So basically you get the idea here that the whole thing, you know, it does have a lot of features for the budget. You can make an adjustment to a budget. So we have the ability to do that. And then we also have a balance sheet portion where you can specify how you want your assets and liabilities and the equity. So you go on the asset tab and you can say, look, for the asset tab, this is the account number that this asset is for. If you want to combine assets together, you can add another line to the asset and it will add a new account number to it. You can add level 2, a level 3, a level 4. We really don't mind. So you basically, you can come in here and look at the tree. Come down to a 1-0, and this was a 0-0-2. So everything under 0-0-2 is going to get summed together. But let's just say you had something in the 0-0-3. You wanted like this one to be added as well to it. So you add the account. So now these two accounts together will equal this savings account line. Not that that's a great example, but I hopefully get the gist and the idea of how you can set up balance sheet items if you want to have very high level ones rolled up with many, many different account trees going into it for the assets, you can. And again, this only adds up assets. So if there's liabilities and expenses accounts underneath that 002 or 003 area, it will ignore those when it's adding them together. It just doesn't do a sum on that account. It does a sum by type. Then if we go to liabilities, same thing with liabilities, just your different set of accounts. This is just a fake one. But you get the idea how liabilities go. You can name them anything you want. And of course, then your equity and your fund balances. So that's like a 30-second overview of setting up your budget and your balance sheet. Why do you want to do that? The answer is, in the end, when you have those working smoothly, you'll be able to go to financial statements. And you should be able to click on here and you pick one of your financials. This is my 2022 financial. Then you say load. And you get a very complicated Excel spreadsheet that you can save to your disk for an Excel, but it does all the summing and adding, as well as the spreadsheet itself the numbers here. There's sums of values. So if you kind of look at it and you hit the plus on the investment accounts, you'll see the different account numbers that go into it, or savings account. So when you click on the pluses, it does the roll down if you want to see that. You have numbers up here to do a full roll down on everything or not. Then you can go to, that's your balance sheet. Then you can go to your budget details sheet. You can run through that and get, what you have for your actuals versus your current budget for the year. It'll go all the way up to whatever's spent for the year. So I think we look ahead, Paul, don't we, on this one? We look at the whole year. We don't stop on today's date.
Correct. I believe
Okay.
so.
We put together a quick profit and loss so that you can kind of, keep track of that. And again, this mostly comes from your budget area. So if you click on the plus, you'll see all the numbers underneath the profit and loss. Then we have best stab at monthlies. So if you go into the monthlies, you'll see the different monthly. Now there's we don't know why it switches the order, but again, the monthlies are based off of your fiscal year start date. So this is the first month. This isn't always January. If your fiscal year start date is in October, then this would be your October month. Then month 2 would be your November month. So again, it's just the month from the fiscal year start date that's in your system. So then we go again, you'll break it down by all the months. So like the 10th month, the 11th month. Now the reason there's actuals here is, of course, this is 2022. So you would see that otherwise most of this would just be zeros coming across for what you're looking at when you're looking at your monthly budget. Some places don't even use a monthly budget. That's totally up to you. You don't even have to look at it. You can simply just look at the budget details and the balance sheet. The only thing to be aware of is the budget details do look at the whole year, whether you think you have data or not. Sometimes there's data that's posted 3 months in advance for something, and that will get included when you run the budget detail, the balance sheet, and the profit and loss. That always looks at the whole year from the beginning to the end. It does not have an end date, whereas the months do have an end date. And again, the months are based on, the first of the month and the last day of the month. So they're not There's no, you can't say like, oh, from the 17th or no, so from like the 25th of the previous month to the 25th of this month. That's what I want to look at. We can't, the system is designed to just be the 1st and the 31st. But it's just another tool that you'll have out there to use or not use, depending on whether you want to or not. But it does, like I said, as you can see, it automatically generates all of this data and information for you to look at without having for you to recompile. You can simply save this to Excel by clicking on here and putting in here your year budget and then save. I'll just click on just to save. And then if I close it on a ProFund, you didn't want to use ProFund, you really wanted to use the raw Excel, I can go to ACA, go to the budget, and here's the thing in Excel. Now, once it's in Excel, of course, you can play around with changing dollar amounts. Like this dollar amount, you could come in there and make, you could change that just to see what it would come out to when you're doing it. So again, if you just wanted to play the game, you can kind of say, oh, if I'm going to change the number, then I want to see how it's going to react in the budget. So this is your total revenue, then your total expense. Coming through here for all the expense accounts. And then if you want to play like what if games, and again, you have your profit and loss, you have your month, second, third. Now, I don't know why, Excel has it right, but for some reason ours, as soon as you pick month 1, it goes to 2. We'll figure that out at some point down the road, but for right now, the idea here is that we just have all this data here for you guys to look at and play with. So that's the 10-minute sneak peek there, and this will be released probably today's the 15th. I'm looking at somewhere around the end of the month. So we have a couple little tweaks that we're looking at putting into it. Once those are in, it should be around the 20th of the month. And it's just a utility for you guys for the road commissions to use. And if you're a township person listening in, we are planning on utilizing a very similar system for the township budgeting from what we currently have for the township budgeting. All right, well, a lot of people are popping out. Thank you for your time today, and thank you for attending. Again, the next webinar will be on the 5th.
You are now working smarter with ProFund Accounting. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.